So a new David documentary is just released, and a lot of people are very, very upset with just how insensitive it was. Now, it's been reported for quite some time that there's been several David documentaries in the works. Apparently, Celeste's own family has turned down offers of actually being involved in one of the documentaries in the midst of David kind of being on trial and facing these charges. So this was a TMZ article earlier this month on the 7th. Basically said the family of Celeste Rivas has been approached by multiple production companies seeking insight on her alleged relationship with singer David, but they're shutting down the idea for now. Apparently, their attorney has said several production companies reached out regarding potential participation in these documentary projects, with some even making direct solicitations at the family's home. That's crazy. He says Steinfeld tells us the interest has been widespread. The family's been contacted by many companies in connection with being involved in these. He said that he can't confirm which companies reached out, but the family's been made aware that some documentary projects on the subject are already financed and currently in production. But they've basically said they have no interest in participating in any documentaries. But for now, it appears Hollywood's documentary machines may be rolling without the family's involvement. Well, it turns out one of those documentaries has already dropped. So this is apparently it. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen it going around and I've seen people outraged. Now, I will have to check this out at some point, but like, people are livid that this has come out so quickly, and I don't even know how they've managed to put this together. I mean, obviously, I do talk about the case, I report on the case, and I've done some more extensive breakdowns on the case, but a full Disney-supported Hulu documentary that's already released is crazy. So this apparently was only announced 4 days ago, and it's already out. It says Disney... I feel like Disney are going to want to distance themselves from this. Disney has announced details on a new documentary, Impact Nightline, The Girl in the Trunk, which tells the story of a 14-year-old girl and the rising music star David involved in the mysterious disappearance turned gruesome murder. New details have emerged from text messages, photos, and DNA that authorities say destroyed 2 lives. I don't like the way they're framing this. He destroyed his own life. David Anthony Burke and other lives, her whole family's life have been destroyed. David Anthony Burke got his start as a gamer and was on the verge of stardom. He was a star. He first made contact with Celeste Rivas Hernandez when she was just 11 years old, a relationship authorities say turned sexual by the time she was just 13. By 2025, David was ready to release his first big studio album, and his exposure was increasing. According to investigators, David and Celeste had a roller coaster relationship with periods of happiness and turmoil, and her allegedly threatening to out him as having S with a minor all led up to April 23rd, 2025, the last day she was seen alive. She wasn't seen alive. Look, I'm deep in this this investigation. Okay, so any of these like inconsistencies do trigger me. But it says Impact Nightline has taken viewers through a timeline of their relationship, Celeste's disappearance and death, the arrest, and the new details emerging from text messages, photos, and DNA that authorities say destroyed 2 lives. The documentary includes interviews with Brian Buckmeyer, an ABC News legal analyst, an ABC News host, an ABC News legal contributor, Scott Williams of the LAPD, Nathan Hochman of the LA District Attorney, Asante Madrigal, a social media content creator, I have no idea who that is, Jennifer Swan, a journalist from Wired, Alex Stone, ABC News, Megan Wright, ABC News, and Stephen McCarty, David's former parkour coach. Now, this interview has apparently been picking up some headlines. It says, now in its 4th season, ABC News' award-winning streaming news magazine Impact Nightline investigates the topic, dominating American culture, stories in the zeitgeist, and conversations around the globe. Eamon Verokwa is the executive producer. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with reporting on this and making an investigative piece of journalism into it. But the thing that it does have people upset is that apparently they're using actors that look like David and Celeste to like dramatize certain scenes. And some people feel like that is that's not really acceptable in the context of what happened. So there's a trailer for this going around. I'll show you the trailer, then I'll show you the reaction. And what I'll probably do is when I've got time, I'll go away and watch it, and I'll let you guys know what I kind of thought. But this is apparently the promotional materials.
It is a young man who could have...
And this is Disney Plus. Hey, Disney, what's going on? Is this how you move in Disney? Oopsie days, that wasn't what I was supposed to do. How can I get rid of this whole bar? Boom. Hacker dude, right? So, yeah, Disney's back in this. This is Disney business.
Could have been a superstar. And Celeste was a child who could have done anything.
Celeste is 13. David is 18.
This is a tinderbox about to explode.
Oh my, delete everything.
This young girl found dismembered in the trunk of a car.
What really happened, he actually may have some answers, and they are horrifying.
The Girl in the Trunk, now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Yeah, it's a little bit... I feel like the way that they've gone about it is probably a little bit distasteful. Now, people are absolutely livid about this on various subreddits right now. So I'll show you what everybody's saying. But people are stunned that this has happened so soon and the way that they're dealing with the information. So this is kind of the listing on Hulu, the explanation, which I've already read you guys. People are saying, am I the only one just now finding out about this? People saying, ew, that is a disrespectful title. My stomach is literally turning. What the actual F is wrong with people? It says, yeah, also says a 14-year-old girl and the rising music star David in description. People are like, huh? She wasn't even 14, bro. She died at... That's not true. She was 14 when she died. The girl in the trunk is crazy. It's a short Nightline episode. No one should be surprised by how lackluster it is. That's what this show is. Cheap and simple. They're here for people who want bloody details, not insightful insight. So you hit the nail on the head. I think they make these episodes to get ahead of Dateline and 2020, but they always suck with no new information and insights. People saying this was so disrespectful. Her name is Celeste Rivas Hernandez, not some girl found in the trunk. And she wasn't even found in the trunk. She was placed in the frunk of his Tesla. They can't even get their facts right. Exactly. It could have just been her full name story. And just using David's own doc that he had made in 2023 in this shit and people who are irrelevant. Well, she was found in the trunk. Frunk is not a word. People saying it is a word. We're not going to get into that. It's probably nothing that a YouTube video essay hasn't covered. These kind of docs often get overshadowed by some really incredible work and research videos by today's content creators. Oh, God. I just want to let it out there. Trapmore Ross is not one of them. Yeah, well, what have you done to investigate this story, right? I really don't get the TLR hate. Do you get mad at the local news when they report on murders? You know they're making money off of reporting it too. His videos have no effort, but if you like him, watch him. I disagree. But anyway, see how heavily downvoted it is. But there's a campaign against me going on in Dave Idiots because I exposed this subreddit for shilling for David's team. So Trapmore Ross got a ton of videos, deepest and most accurate. I've seen a lot of them. Thank you very much. Right. This is so awful. Capitalism is hell. This is sad. Reduced to the girl in the trunk. Pathetic. This is heartbreaking. I don't even have words. Yeah, I've only heard of this style of reference used for victims they can't identify. Well, at the end of the day, David reduced her to a girl in the trunk. This is his damn fault. Now, I see why people think that's kind of disrespectful way to talk about it, but let's not lose sight of the fact that David is the one. I think often people do direct their anger in the wrong way. I'm not saying that the way this documentary has gone down is tasteful in any way, but what I am saying is that let's not lose sight of the fact everybody's backbiting and saying, oh, this person's... David is the worst person in this whole thing, and we need justice for Celeste. Rest in peace to her. And this scumbag that did this, whoever did this, because allegedly it's David, but he's innocent until proven guilty, but the scumbag that did this will be held to account, and that's the person we should all be mad at. He's a massive piece of shit, but it's not his fault they continue to disrespect her. That's a good point. That's on them. She has a name. They could have used it instead of reducing her to the girl in the trunk forever. People saying, ew, wow, what the F, never watching just because of the title itself. The title is gross. That title, yuck. Celeste was a human being. Says the F, like, yeah, I understand if they made a documentary, you know, after everything comes out and he finally gets found guilty, but why are they making one now? And what the F is up with the name? That's so weird. In the description, they just called her a 14-year-old girl. Like, you couldn't say her name at least. She has a name. She was a person, not just an age or a story. It makes me mad. Says they use 14-year-old girl to titillate and entice certain viewers. A lot of money goes into research into naming shows and what few words you could use to get the optimum results. Their words suggest a young woman of just puberty age, probably inexperienced. They could have said girl or young woman, but they chose these words to attract a certain type. These companies have no morals, no consideration for anything or anyone apart from their ability to extract money from people. They certainly do not care about justice for Celeste. The girl in the trunk is disturbing and disrespectful. Case still isn't closed, so anything coming out now is irrelevant trash. Unless you're, attending the court. People saying, I don't want to make it all about me. People saying, oh, Ross is lazy. I'm going to the court. I've been to the trial 3-4 times now. I've seen David. I've literally seen David. I've watched and reported, and I've found information out as soon as the judges said it, and we're allowed out the courtroom back to our phones. I'm letting everybody know what the hell's going on with this creep. So I think I'm working pretty hard, and I just want to see justice for Celeste, and I just want to document David's downfall because he deserves it, allegedly. I haven't seen this documentary, but I'm assuming since Celeste's family didn't agree to it, or any documentaries regarding the case, this is Hulu's cheap attempt at avoiding a lawsuit while exploiting her death for viewership and profit. How disappointing. Saying Hulu is disgusting. I doubt the family approved this. Sick. She has a name. Disrespectful garbage. True crime is an entertainment category. This isn't shocking or surprising at all. In this world, you aren't somebody until somebody else banks off your death. The girl in the trunk. Her name is Celeste Rivas. What the F, Hulu? Disney, man. What's going on with Disney? They're fucking quick. I figured something was in the works, but I didn't think it'd be that fast. Disgusting. I watched it to come back and report. Basically, they said maybe 2 things they didn't mention in the court documents, such as he sent messages saying, I thought you'd be here by now. The court document said he texted the phone to make it seem like she never showed, but they didn't elaborate on exactly what was said. They also texted her as she arrived and said, the gate is open, you can just come in. That's that's actually new information. Is that really true? We also know that she showed up, but they didn't elaborate on what those messages said either. Lastly, they mentioned that David's legal team didn't want to release a statement. It's very shitty the way they're trying to profit off her gruesome murder, and unfortunate how sad of a money grab this is. It says, I thought that they said he sent a text saying, where are you, to make it seem like she never got there. Yeah. So yeah, we've heard a bit of new info there. This is absolutely disgusting. Like, my stomach churned reading the title. Celeste deserves so much more respect. I hope her family can get the best legal advice and guidance to sue these MFs. Petition to get this trash removed. What the F kind of title is this? Beyond disrespectful and disgusting. Shame on Hulu. Don't forget Disney. I hate the name. Poor Celeste is more than a girl in the trunk. These slopumentaries need to stop. Especially that title is disgusting. When the case is over and Celeste gets justice, then a documentary should be made. Hell, they could have even called it The Celeste Story. The case is so widely known that if the general public saw it, they'd likely known who it was about. The girl in the trunk is not only disrespectful, but non-specific. They didn't even say her name in the description. R.I.P. Celeste Rivas Hernandez. You deserve so much better, my girl. There was no trial yet. There's no facts in the case yet. If they do another film someday, I'll watch it. But not this. Okay? So, you know, everybody's got kind of the same opinion. And, you know, people are upset and they're pretty annoyed. But what really pissed people off were these sequences where they apparently got these actors in these scenarios. This was supposed to be David and Celeste sitting at the laptop watching the live stream back where he said delete everything, and they've got dramatizations of a girl that looks like her with her hair looking at her phone, I guess texting David, and like this is them watching the delete everything stream. That's David with the kind of afro kind of hair there, and Celeste with the curly hair. That is slightly disturbing, the way that they've gone about that. They've got David typing on laptop, them texting and messaging each other. It's interesting. People saying, I don't know how the mods feel about swearing, but I'm about to do a lot of it. I apologize in advance. I'm angry. Scrolling on TikTok, ABC News pops up on my feed. I'm not from America, nor do I live anywhere nearby, so this was weird. I wasn't looking at my phone, but I heard David followed by Celeste's voice and looked down to see they've uploaded 9 minutes of the documentary to their page. I know it's a documentary, but they have an actor playing Celeste and another one playing David. The opening clip is their stream together, where she outs him for saying R-word in kids, and they have this playing on a big screen with dark figures watching, male and female. The female has curly hair with glasses on and the hood up, and the male has Afrocentric hair that's the exact same color as David's in the live. They're acting as if Celeste is watching the live with David retrospectively. That's fucking weird. We don't know if that happened. That's the thing. They're creating scenarios that might never have happened. I think that's weird as hell. A few minutes go by, they have different testimonials from a guy who knew David, a guy in the legal field, some woman who has an opinion. They mention how Celeste and David met online and have actors of similar skin tones, texting as though they're David and Celeste communicating. The interviewer asked the lawyer what led to her murder, and once again, a voiceover comes on while a curly-haired girl with a skin tone similar to Celeste's is sending iMessages. This is when the voiceover mentions their argument via text about the other girls that David was seeing and Celeste's threat to expose him. They even show the images of the car with the trunk front open and the cadaver bags visible. Celeste was a real person, not an effing documentary, and it makes me angry because she's only been gone a year. I can't even imagine how her family must feel. Irrespective of how anyone feels about them and their choices, Celeste was a daughter, sister, cousin, and niece. If it popped up on my feed randomly, it's likely they'll see it too, and the first thing they'll play is their life together. It's like, hey, here's your dead kid and sister, oh, and here's her abuser and murderer too. That's crazy. They even recorded the outside of her home for F's sake, where her minor brother still lives. I could be wrong, but I'm almost 100% sure he's a minor. Hiring people to play a dead child for the sake of a documentary is disgusting. Hiring another one to play her abuser and murderer is vile. A child lost her life because a sadistic adult wanted to keep his abuse of her a secret. That's not some Hollywood shit. A real human lost their real life. Against better judgment, I've included screenshots to show what I mean about the actors. People are saying, I mean, could we at least get this guy charged before people are making money off her goddamn name? He's been charged. He's been charged, but he's not convicted. It's a reenactment, which is common in true crime documentaries. They obviously can't get the actual people to do it. It's just to visually set up the scene. Also, they aren't having the actors set up like them watching the live stream as if they're watching now. They have the actors set up as if it's them in the moment they recorded it. Not defending, but this is just the nature of true crime. There was a Luigi Mangione Nightline episode out 2 months after his arrest, and it's normal for them to have actors portray the perp or victim in documentaries or true crime shows for reenactment purposes. So people have a better understanding of what went down. The same thing happened with the Idaho 4 case. They even released a crime scene image with one of the victims, Zana's body, being partially visible. Not saying it's right, but it's just the nature of the beast. The true crime community definitely has exploitation issues. Because I'm not saying it's right, but documentaries and miniseries have been around forever, and they don't stop when kids are involved. Gabriel Fernandez, Madeleine McCann, John Bonet, any school shooting, etc. I get why families or those close do not want to see their loved ones' worst moments depicted, but this is not new, and a famous case is absolutely going to get doc specials and media made over it. People saying exactly this. Not saying it's right, but it seems a lot of people's introduction to the true crime world is this. Honestly, if this isn't the first case you followed, you'll realize this is really also normal. Again, it's exploitative as hell, but not new. But people saying all of those docs were years later and the case was done. This case is actively happening, and I don't see why they wouldn't wait until it's less fresh and maybe have a chance of the family participating and have enough material. We don't even have enough evidence for a doc yet, in my opinion, and they should wait till he's convicted. So people saying facts. If you follow these cases, you'll know it's facts. Freedom of Information Act's filed, and boom, you have audio, video, pictures, and anything else to do with the case you want. Gilgo Beach, Rex Heuermann case has numerous movies and documentaries and YouTube videos prior to. Athena Strand case is another. Whoever makes the decision to do so is money hungry, period, and have no editorial integrity for the victims or families. People saying a conviction first would have been great. It's called The Girl in the Trunk, yet they only talk about Celeste and who she was for a few moments. It should have been called The Monster in Disguise. That's a good point. It's not going to tell us anything we don't know already because not enough new information has come out anyway. We haven't even got a trial yet, and there isn't even a trial date. It's probably a decent enough primer for somebody who just likes watching true crime shows and doesn't know anything about this case. Unless the actual programming ends up being over an hour long, like 90 minutes or more, I wouldn't consider this an actual documentary. Everything I've seen about this suggests it was only a single episode of a longer series on ABC Nightline, and in programming like this, because there's more than just series here in the US, they almost always have actors playing the victims and their killers/perpetrators, and the family, friends, co-workers, etc. I get being upset about this, especially as it hasn't even gone to trial yet, and I don't watch stuff like this anymore and barely did in the past, but this is the standard for this type of TV series here in the US. So what's interesting, okay, is this is obviously going around. It's picked up a lot of attention, but people have kind of pointed out some of the actual pointers. Actually, I want to show you this at the end of the video for just a little side note. But this is kind of another reaction. People saying this is the new Nightline piece, new brief interview with DA Hochman and the parkour coach from Texas. Nothing enlightening, but it's interesting. The district attorney is doing media. So I don't know if this is the full thing. People saying the district attorney doing this is so unethical because the case is still pending, and outright saying anything specific like how Nathan did can and will bite their own case because of some evidence that they will even present will not be in court. And it's all just dumb to be talking while it's already a pending case with no movement right now, especially at trial. But people are saying it's incredibly common for DAs to appear on these type of media requests, especially because it's a news segment and they'll just stick to information publicly out on the case right now from their office and the defense. They do not and will not go beyond that. So that's interesting. Nothing new, but what I don't like is the plug they give in the last few seconds of the story to The Girl in the Trunk that's on Disney Plus and Hulu right now. Wouldn't surprise me if that's the only reason they did the story, to plug that crap. Let's see. Oh, so this is a full 19-minute broadcast. Let me just find you what they're talking about.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Disturbing new details in the murder case against the rising music star known as David, who denies all charges. A trove of evidence from investigators, including new texts and photos. Now a video surfacing of the singer and 13-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez together, racking up millions of views online. Authorities say she was threatening to expose their sexual relationship, and David was worried that would cost him everything.
Yo.
So this is all old stuff. We've seen this all before. Okay, but what's interesting is this is his parkour coach. So we did actually see from this parkour coach in Houston, he kind of gives a little bit of backstory. So let's see. I'm going to speed it up because I feel like it's moving a bit slow.
My name is Stephen McCarty. I am a parkour coach. I also coach gymnastics and ninja.
Yeah! That's it. That's it.
I met David around 2018 at the first gym. He was in our ninja and parkour mixed program. Him and his brother, they both worked really hard. Everything on the surface, very normal, very religious and God-centered family. I did notice a shift from being into parkour, music being more a part of his time and his identity. I liked his music, actually. I mean, I went to his show. I have backstage passes, so I got to hang out with him for a little bit.
So this show, like the last time you saw him?
This was the last time that I saw him, which was also why I told him what I told him about, you know, watching his surroundings and the people that he's going to be around. Watch yourself and watch your back.
So it was August of 2025, and I was getting ready to anchor one of our shows called...
So this is like an ABC News anchor, but really we want to see from the DA. Is this him? So here's the DA's part. Now, yeah, let me play this to you. It's possible that this is going to get copyright and I'm going to have to remove these clips. So if they are removed, just go and look up this video and go check out what I'm talking about.
They began having a sexual relationship when she was approximately 13 years old. That continued all the way through her 14th birthday.
What was the precipitating event that you believe led to murder?
There was some indication that Celeste was unhappy with the status of their relationship. She had potentially threatened David that she might out the fact that he was involved in a sexual relationship with a minor.
Law enforcement says that's not just a gap, that's rape. That's sex with a minor who cannot give consent.
April 23rd, 2025 is the last day.
It seems like that's all they got from him. So there's barely any information there. So I honestly, I feel like this is a big nothing burger of a documentary. If you've been following this closely, like we have, the people that follow this channel and me myself included, you know, it's pretty clear that there's no new information here. Now, I just want to talk about something that's been going around. I want to address this directly. So there's a post going around on r/DaveIdiots right now. And this post is maliciously misinterpreting a video I did. I did a video previously where I pointed out all of the other people that I think that need to answer questions about their involvement in David's alleged murder. At no point did I say, I'll even show you, hang on a sec, let me just pull it up. So I did a video, okay, not too long ago, and I do a lot of videos on different topics. It's not just David content, okay? I do a lot of videos on all different types of topics, so it's probably a while now. But this video, David's people are not in the clear. And in this video, I just touched on all the other people in David's life who I think probably, seemingly, would have known something about what was going on. At no point did I say David didn't do anything. So since r/DaveIdiots got exposed for being a hub of David shills, they've been attacking me, and this is quite a smart deception attack on me. They've just said this, which is a complete malicious misinterpretation of that video. I just saw Traplaw Ross' last video. I believe he has a point. Maybe he didn't actually directly or individually do it. Let's look at the bigger picture. And then it basically starts a ridiculous, nonsensical explanation of all these other things that could have happened and other people that might have been involved, and that David's management, they were going to lose their cash cow, so they might have killed her. This is nonsense, and this is trying to portray my video, which didn't say any of those things, this video, that basically just says they need to look into all these people too. As if I'm saying that David didn't do it. This is a pathetic attempt, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is more smart tomfoolery by David's team of like, oh, let's try, okay, since we failed at smearing Traplaw Ross and the whole subreddit has fallen in disarray since he exposed us, and the activity on the subreddit has grinded to an embarrassing halt since I exposed them for a bunch of psyops going on in this subreddit to try and clear up the situation for David, they're now saying, okay, well, let's fraudulently misinterpret what he had in his videos to make it seem like he's also defending David. It's nonsense. So I just wanted to end this video by just saying, don't believe this type of bullshit, all right? It's nonsense, it's waffle, not at all what I said in my video. Go and check out the video if you want to know for yourself what I actually said. David's people are not in the clear. I dropped that 5 days ago. But I just wanted to clear that up and just say, DaveIdiots, bro, the jig is up. All right, we know what nonsense you guys are on. But anyway, that was my thoughts on the documentary. I might go and watch it all when I get time, but, you know, I think I get the gist, and I don't think there's going to be anything new in there. And the use of those actors was low-key disrespectful. I think I agree with that. But anyway, I'll keep you guys posted. I'll let you know about David's next court date. He does apparently have a couple of court dates next month. I reported on the previous court date, which was very quick, very quiet, although David was in good spirits, unfortunately. But I'll keep you guys posted on anything else that happens. And you know that I'm just chasing this justice for Celeste, and I know it's going to come eventually. The wheels of justice move slowly, but I believe there will be justice for Celeste. And just in my opinion, I think David will go down and be found guilty of this murder. That's just my opinion. Okay, that's what I think will end up happening. But we don't know for sure. He's innocent till proven guilty, even though the evidence is absolutely damning. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching that, and stay safe.